good, family? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over some photos that I took over the course of 2 days. Yes, the title's a lie. Over in Fort Worth. Some of you guys know I'm currently in the middle of shooting a project. It's a little photo book that I've been shooting centered around Fort Worth, kind of stretching out towards the boundaries of Fort Worth. But nonetheless, today I'm going to be showing you some photos that I shot with Kodak Portra 400 and with Fuji 400H. So let's get into the photos, and I'm going to kind of walk you through my process behind each one. So for this first location, I stopped in South Main, Fort Worth. There are a few really historic buildings, and this one in particular caught my eye. Just the way that the sun was hitting it, the white brick on it. I really enjoyed the greens that were like completely engulfing the building as well. Obviously, as you can see, there's a huge light leak in the image. Some people like them. I like a clean image. But overall, I did like the way this came out. The next image was just probably 20 feet away from this building. But the blue font on the door, it really stood out when I walked by. And also the way that the sun is hitting it is really giving this golden feeling. For this next photo, what stands out is obviously this giant car in the sky. And the reds really make it stand out amongst the scene that it's in. I have photographed this building before, and it really just does stand out when you drive down the street because of the white and the red colors that are contrasting each other. Now this image, to be completely honest, I was really intrigued by these pillars, and I know that they're not pillars, they just look like pillars. I don't really know what they are, to be honest with you. I feel like I could get a nice composition with the pillars and the cars in front. At this point in the day, the light is just pretty much perfect to work with. So if you frame things right, you can get a good image pretty much no matter what, in my opinion. So yeah, I like the way this one turned out. On the left-hand side of the frame, there's also part of the gate that I got in the image. That was pretty much unavoidable when I was trying to frame it, but I kind of like having that in the foreground. It adds a bit of intrigue to the image. Now this building really stood out to me because of the color. It's a nice baby blue, and it has other tones of blue in it. And when you get that mixed with the sun that was coming in from the left-hand side, it ended up coming out really nice because of the contrasting colors. Now this next image, obviously there's a ton of color. You have pink and you have yellow. You also have red in the foreground with the bricks. I just thought that this was a great way to see how Portra would kind of render all these colors mixed together. And the one thing I do love about Portra 400 is that the colors are really true to the eye. How you see them is pretty much what you're gonna get in the image back. But yeah, there's a whole lot going on in this image in terms of color. Portra 400 does hold up well. I was really happy with the way it came out. The last image that I took was of this little orange cat, and I just thought that the composition, if I could get it right, this picture would be amazing, just considering the color difference and the contrast between the cat and the brick behind it. You just have that classic orange and blue contrast that kind of just grabs your attention immediately. That's why I made it the thumbnail. So as you guys can see, I'm wearing a different in and out shirt here. When I was recording yesterday, for whatever reason, I guess my battery on my mic died. So yeah, we're gonna have a fresh start today, and we're gonna move into the second part of the video. So for all these images, I was shooting on Fuji 400H. The specific outing was to just get photos around my neighborhood. So the house right across the street from me currently, I am absolutely in love with the way that the light hits it during the sunset. So I decided I wanted to start out there and get a nice image of the soft light hitting the corner of the house. And then from there, we'd walk down to a nice open field that's about 4 houses down the street from where we are. We actually got a good view of the ranch behind our house. It's just separated by some barbed wire, and you know, obviously you can see that in the video that I'm just chilling on the other side of the barbed wire. And I really wanted to take advantage of the sunset that we were having with the nice light that we were having and see how the greens rendered on the Fuji 400H. Now for the next part of the shoot, we actually walked across the street to take some photos. I wanted to get more pictures of the houses around my neighborhood. I ended up only taking 2 photos altogether of the houses, but they're both very different images. And with the first image, I wanted to kind of get a wide shot or like more of a mood setting shot. There's a big brick wall in front of them, so I kind of wanted to get the tops of the homes. I have always been intrigued by the architecture of the homes around me in the neighborhood, as you can see in the first image from this roll. With the next image, I kind of wanted to get a more detailed shot, and this one does have more elements to it. In the foreground, you can see a bit of a tree, and there's that wall. I love the tones in this image so much. The Fuji 400 really did well to render both the home and retain a lot of details in the shadows and be able to show the pinkness in the sky. Because like I said, the sunset this evening was crazy, and I was really happy to be able to capture both the home itself and the sky, because it kind of just pulls the whole image together. Then, as you can see, we went back over into the field. I was kind of feeling a bit uninspired at this point, but we actually went to the opposite side that we started on, and right away one thing caught my eye, and that was the shovel kind of just hanging on the brick wall. And I'd never seen anything like that. I assumed people were doing yard work around the house and then just kind of threw it up there, but I thought it would make a pretty interesting image if I could get it right. Then we walked further down the field that we were in, and I took my least favorite image that I've taken in a long time, and that was just this image of these sunflowers. It felt kind of forced, to be honest, to take this photo. I thought it was going to make a good composition. I got the scan back and I did not really like it at all. It just seemed very rushed, just like how I felt when I was taking the picture, just rushed and incomplete. But I did want to still show the photo because I wanted to go through the whole roll. And also show you that not everything that I'm going to show you here is going to be perfect. I did want to take a picture of the sky, specifically a cloud. And as you can see, the detail and the color that you can bring out in a Fuji 400H is absolutely incredible. Now, after I had finished taking that photo, I wanted to take one last photo, just because I saw a beautiful composition with a bush that was perfectly centered, and you could also see the ranch behind it. There's the sunset going on. Everything just kind of came together in this picture. After I took that image, I wanted to go back to where I started, which was the house that I obviously walked out of, and take some images of the house. As you can see, this first image, it's kind of a strange picture. It's just the top of the house that I live in, but I do like the geometry. There's 3 triangles that you see in it. The colors also came out beautiful. There is this interesting red light coming from the bottom of the frame that you can see. I'm not really 100% sure where that came from, but I'm happy with it because, like I said, it just kind of adds to the depth of the image. And the last picture that I took, I wanted to round out by getting a wide shot of my house. This was really the first picture, I would say, that I've shot with the Mamiya RB67 that would be considered a night picture. The reason I wanted to make this video is just kind of a chill way of giving you some more behind the scenes of the RB67 and how I use it. Please don't forget to like and comment on this video. I really appreciate when you do that. Also, feel free to subscribe. I plan on making more videos about just film in general. I'll talk more about the Mamiya RB67 in depth and just kind of photography in general. I know right now I've kind of just been riding this film wave, and I don't plan on stopping that anytime soon, but don't be surprised to see some digital work in here, because first and foremost, I am a digital photographer. This is just, like I've said, kind of showing you guys my journey with film photography, with Mamiya, and when I do acquire more film cameras. If you guys have any suggestions for any 35mm film cameras that I should buy, please drop those below. I'm kind of in the market for one right now, so I'd appreciate your feedback. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.